I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my October planetary overview. I'm calling this a month of breakthrough, transformation, and reinvention. So it's a written report that I have up on my New York Daily News / horoscope pages. So I'm going to just read it out to you so you can listen to it here on the video or go ahead and follow up and read it in the written form on the website. Okay, so the month commences with a small window to get organized and, more importantly, to reflect on what has come to pass. The last few weeks of September were somewhat challenging. 2 eclipses, Saturn hovering around an intense 29 degree before making his move to Sagittarius, and Mercury retrograde, just to mention a few. So the first few days of October provides the space to review, reassess, and revisit what has transpired, how you feel about it, and review your plans. Time spent in contemplation of where you are, where you want to be, and the journey to get there can provide you with the clarity to plan your next steps now. So week 1, October the 5th. Early in the week, the Sun squares Pluto and can cause a power struggle with someone that you're close to. Be strategic with your dealings and communications rather than reactive and dig your heels in, especially as Mercury is still retrograde. Okay, so midweek on the 8th, Venus will make her move from effervescent Leo to the more practical sign of Virgo, where love can be shown in more ways of concern and reaching out to help others rather than extravagant dinners and social events. Venus will stay in Virgo for a 1-month period through to the 8th of October. Mercury, the planet that governs commerce and communication, will come out of its retrograde transit this week too, on the 9th. This is the final Mercury retrograde for the year, thankfully. And the next one is not until early January 2016. So communication should free up now and become easier for the remainder of the year. Let's hope so. However, keep in mind that while Mercury is making its turn out of retrograde, it can be the most confusing part of the transit, hence why it's called the storm. For major changes, signing or settling arrangements, if possible, leave for the last few days after the 9th, if possible, okay, after Mercury does come out of its retrograde. And if you really want to get technical and wait until Mercury transits back to the degree which it was in when it first commenced its retrograde, that date is the 23rd. So from the time it comes out of retrograde on the 9th, 10th, through to the 23rd, that's still called the shadow time. So to close off this week, the Sun will be in an opposition to Uranus, and under this vibration, if something is not working well in your life, it can get a shake-up, and suddenly, so it can take you by surprise. This is a relatively short transit, but very powerful. Sometimes you are simply not in control of change, and sometimes you need just to have a little push, and the interaction between the Sun and Uranus can provide the push. Week 2, October the 12th. At the beginning of this week, we have the new moon in the sign of Libra, an ideal time to focus on what you want to attract in your life, and particularly in regard to relationships. As the moon in one of the signs that Venus rules, then this becomes very particularly about relationships. Now, new moon energy is a favorable time to cast your dreams out to the universe, and in a positive, affirmative way. In other words, focus on what you want, not what you don't. However, we are still under the influence of the interaction between the Sun and Uranus, so anything can happen now, as Uranus is very unpredictable energy. At the same time, Mercury will interact with Saturn, and as Mercury is now out of retrograde, this is a perfect time to discuss your long-term plans or consolidate relationships and situations that have been outstanding or have been put on hold. Venus will be opposite Neptune, which sets up a sense of anything is possible and can be idealistic in regard to your view of life. But eventually, reality will step in to balance everything out. But to start with, a little idealism can help you broaden your vision, which works perfectly with the Mars conjunct Jupiter in Virgo. The connection between Mars and Jupiter is a once every 2-year event, a short transit, but one that is packed with energy and inspiration. Jupiter provides the vision to follow the dream of your soul, and Mars provides the energy, the motivation, and trigger to follow through with action. At the same time, both Mars and Jupiter will favorably interact with Pluto, the planet of transformation, and further encourage you to follow your destined path and, in some cases, reinvent yourself. Week 3, October the 19th. The Sun will make a move this week on the 23rd from peaceful Libra to intense Scorpio, and will give you a chance to look deep within yourself to uncover, deal with, and heal any emotional demons that have been lurking and not resolved. Excuse me. Venus, now in the sign of Virgo, will connect with abundant Jupiter, usually a very lucky and beneficial connection. However, in Virgo, there is a tendency to get stuck on petty details and focus on how things will come together. Jupiter and Virgo are opposite energies. Jupiter is visionary, big picture, and Virgo more detailed, oriented, and focused on how things will actually focus on the glue that makes things together rather than the big picture. If you can work the energies together, be passionate about the other outcome and not overly concerned about how, you will have a winning formula. When your vision is big enough, the how will take care of itself. That's a good motto to remember. And keep in mind that without the vision, you have no how to be concerned about anyway, so they work hand in hand. Week 4, October 26. In the closing week of October, we have a full moon on the 27th in the sign of Taurus, which is a great time for the next 2 weeks to methodically work through situations or projects that you need to bring to a close and that you need to just move forward in one way or another, okay? At the beginning of November, Mercury makes a move from Libra to join the Sun in Scorpio and encourages you to say how you feel and settle any past misunderstandings. You can use this energy to delve deep down to uncover any emotional baggage that has become just way too heavy to keep carrying around. A release of negative tension can remove energy blocks that can stop you from living the life of your dreams. And although breaking through these emotional blocks can be confronting, the result promises to be worthwhile. Okay, so have a great month, everybody. It's certainly a lot going on this month and a lot of movement. Mercury coming out of retrograde, which we love, and the Venus and Mars coming together in the same sign, and training with Pluto and Jupiter there as well. It's sure to be a month where something is most likely, possibly and probably going to happen. Okay, so I hope that whatever happens for each and every one of you, that it's something fantastic. Okay, all right, love and luck to you. I'm Jennifer Angel. I look forward to seeing you on the weekly reports. Bye for now.